Yo guys, welcome to a new video, and today I will be talking about Hurry Up Tomorrow. Alright, Hurry Up Tomorrow, the movie starring The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega, has finally hit our theater screens, and I have to say, I have never expected something like this, but the way for me to go and watch the movie was indefinitely more interesting than the movie itself. I have no idea why, but both in the Netherlands and Belgium, this movie did not really get a release. They get special screenings, and that's something they rarely do in Belgium and the Netherlands. They have them for big blockbusters where they will do an event for a movie, where they have some things from the movie having the special event. But for this one, it's just a special event. It's just them showcasing the movie, having The Weeknd blast over the speakers all the time. But that's about it. There were no regular screenings for this movie. I couldn't choose the day I wanted to see this. I had to make time on the day that they showed the movie. And of course, I live in an area where I have around 6 to 7 movie theaters in the vast vicinity of like a 25-minute drive of my home, so I have a lot of choice of movie theaters, and still it was very difficult to go and watch it. I think I had a total of 3 days where I could choose from to watch this movie. I chose the first day because that was the one I could do. Even though I was very tired and I kind of wanted to change it to another day, I couldn't because they weren't playing other days. And the 2 other days that I have are tomorrow and the day after, which I both have to work, so I can't. So I was obligated to go this one, which was very interesting and made me hyped for the movie all of a sudden. Because, well, I never had a movie where I just had to make time to go see it, even though it's a big release in some sort of ways. After seeing the movie, I kind of understand why, and I kind of don't. I still don't know why this movie didn't get the right release that I thought it was going to get. And I kind of do it because this is just not a regular movie that you have playing in the movie theater. This is an event film in some sort of way. Not in the great event film way that Avengers Endgame was an event film. It's a different way. It feels more like a big fucking advertisement for the new album of The Weeknd, which is something I appreciate in some sort of ways, but also don't, because it's made for a very interesting story, but also a pretty lackluster story in the... There's this bug annoying me. But also a pretty lackluster story because it felt like a big advertisement. I feel like the first half of this movie, where we have this concert thing and where you can see where the movie is going with his voice and stuff like that, everything surrounding that was interesting enough. But the first half of the movie, because I was very tired, I couldn't really keep my focus on it. So I thought that was pretty and when I thought only 15 minutes had passed, already 40 to 45 minutes had passed of the movie, and I was like, okay, wow, what did I miss? And I was really scared to not get the rest of the movie because I didn't memorize anything from the first half apart from the, no spoilers, doctor thing that we saw and some of the things that he did inside of the concerts and the start of Jenna Ortega's character, which was crying and doing some stuff. That was everything I recognized or everything I remembered going into the second half of the movie, starting from the last 100 minutes that this movie would last for, or the last 60 minutes that this movie would last for. And I have to say that I really did not miss anything. Like, I understood everything that was going on, which makes me think that the first half was just not having a real story, which is what you kind of get when you make a big advertisement movie for your new album that's coming out. The acting isn't all that great, especially if you look at The Weeknd. He did very interestingly and kind of well in the opening scenes and in the more emotional scenes, but there is this moment where he has to lash out against Jenna Ortega and be really fucking mad, and it's just laughably bad. It was actually insane how bad that was. Jenna Ortega's character, she is awesome. I still love Jenna Ortega and everything that she does, this one included. And the way that her character is put in the movie is something I didn't see in the marketing. I thought like Barry Keoghan was going to be like the big annoying dipshit of the movie. Turns out he's not the biggest one. He still is, but he's not the biggest one. There's someone else bigger. I did not expect that. I was really interested in seeing that story play out because I thought that was awesome. But the biggest thing that I took away from this movie, and the biggest thing that I genuinely really loved, and I don't know why, probably because I'm just a simple man, whenever Jenna Ortega started dancing and started talking about how great Blinding Lights was, I was starting to get really conflicted. I loved those scenes because just seeing Jenna Ortega being happy and vibing so hard, it did something to me. It did something positive for me. But it also just felt like The Weeknd trying to give a big fucking explanation to any of his songs to make everyone appreciate him a lot more, and it just comes over as extremely self-indulgent, which is very conflicting. Like, this movie did not do any favors for The Weeknd, but it did do any favors for Jenna Ortega, who comes out on top of this movie. She is actually really great in this. The Weeknd just looks like an asshat after this movie because he continuously keeps talking about himself. And of course, he is a man that had an idea for a movie, made the movie, found a director, and made the movie literally about him. He's not even playing a character, he's just The Weeknd, which was very interesting and a very odd choice. So I do think that this movie will be pretty fun for the biggest Weeknd fans out there. I do think they will get some appreciation of this movie. But I think for general audiences, which includes me, because I have only ever really listened to Blinding Lights, thinking that was a really good song. The other one that they were talking about, I can't even remember the name. I have never heard that. I do think it was pretty funny that they acknowledged that that song was a flop, that it didn't really get anything apart from some streams, and it didn't even make the Spotify top 5, which was really funny to see him bash at himself for that. The vibe was over, and I do think for general audiences this movie is quite boring, quite confusing, quite uninteresting. For exceptional movie buffs like I tend to be, the cinematography and the color scheme and everything else that they chose to do with the camera was pretty annoying because they tried to unfocus a lot and put things out of perspective, and it changed with the aspect ratio a lot, and it kind of all felt flat because of the acting of The Weeknd that's not really coinciding with the entire story. So that was a bummer in some sort of ways, and that was just a headache to get my head around for some time. But Jenna Ortega really saved this movie, and I have to say that I still enjoyed myself. Even though I did think The Weeknd was quite self-indulgent, I do think the story was interesting enough to keep me interested for the second half of the movie, and I had some fun with that second half. So in the end, I'm going to give this movie 3 stars because it did some things well. Have you seen Hurry Up Tomorrow? Please let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Were you able to see it in your country? Did it get a wide release, or was it also some kind of special event movie that you had to see on a certain day, otherwise you would have missed it completely? Please let me know. I wonder how this movie is doing all around the world. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye bye.